welcome to the flower patch. My name's Iris Smith and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome everybody. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend and I hope you've been really busy. I've been busy in the garden and also in my workshop. My husband's decided to move a few plants around on the garden and because he's not a professional gardener, but he planted some plants and then he says, let's see how they grow. And if they don't look right once they've grown tall or however they grow, then we'll move them to where they should be placed. So that's what we've been doing. Right, today I'm going to do a 16-inch grapevine wreath and I'm going to do it for my front door. I've taken down the one I had. I like to change it and I'm going to put up another one. So I've decided I'm going to do it in browns, a bit of orange, reds and creams. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got a 16-inch grapevine wreath that we're going to do it on. And this is one of the wreaths that's really quite tight that I have. So with any luck, we'll get them in, and with it being tight, obviously they're going to be a little bit more secure if we get high winds. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's the wreath, and I'm going to go through the things that I've just chosen. Now I've got something that I'm not sure what to really do with it. Well, I'm going to buy something. But first of all, when we get to it, I'll show you. Right, I've decided I want some wheat, some artificial wheat in, and with the grass with it, in the greens and slightly milky white. There's a few in here. I've got some leftovers, so I've placed them in with the fresh stems as well. I've got out our two-tone dusted grass. Also, I've placed a few on picks and also brought out one full bunch as well in case I may need some more. I've got some of these oddments and I found of the grape leaf, and I thought we could place, oops, a daisy, some of those in as well. So maybe for filler foliage. And I've got out my long stemmed mountain pine. I've got 5 pieces out. I may need 5 with it being such a big wreath. Oh, I've got some fluff all over it. And we're going to place that in as well. Now I have got out my Magnolia stems. Now I've got them in brown and green. I've got out the green ones, the green with the brown on the back. I may, because it's a tight wreath, pull these off individually and place them on picks. I've not, really thought whether, I don't really think I should put them in a cluster because the stem is really quite chunky. I've cut off some of my beech in the red as well, and I've placed about 4 stems on 4 little pieces on picks as well. Now I've got this vine, and it's the lotus leaf in browns with some green. I've got in mind, I'd like to have something trailing from the wreath, and I do love these. So with me having them in browns and greens, things like that, I thought, let's get them in. So we've got those as well. I've got out, now I'm not sure if I'm going to place this in, but some of our Trace Scantia with the red, the burgundy and green. So I may place some of that in. Now this is what I'm unsure. I've got only 2 of them, 2 of the garlands. I've had them a while, they're very twiggy. I ordered them because I love twiggy bits, and the main stems are not really wired much, so you can't really, I think they're just placed, it's this bit that's wired, the wired bit, the rest are a little bit floppy. So they are like, I think there was just, when I bought them, called hanging, oh, let me think, I think it just said hanging foliage. So it is quite long, as you can see, it goes right underneath, but I want to maybe place some of this in as well and have it hanging down, again with it not being wired. We're going to see how that works. So that's what I'm unsure about, but I've had it a while. I've got the other one still in the packet. I love it, I really do, but when you place it at the top of a wreath, it's not going to stand, you know, firm, because it's floppy, so it'll just flop over. So I think that's what was only just bothering me. It looked brilliant in a hanging basket, absolutely fabulous. Now I've got some of my little spiky balls out, and I keep forgetting what these are called. Like, I think somebody called them snowballs, but we've got those for a little, you know, a lighter tone to lift the arrangement so it doesn't look too dark. I've pulled off a new stem because they come on paperback, so I've pulled some off of my orange Astilbe. Now I've got these as well. I'm going to order some more because I do like them. The little berries, and the leaves are a rubber texture, but the little white berries with a bit of foliage, I don't know if you can see, but they are really, really pretty, and they would look fabulous for Christmas or even a wedding, anything like that. So I thought I may chop away or pull them off if I can, because I've only just bought these again. I only buy just a few stems of them to see if I like them, and I really do. So I'm going to get some more of those. Now I've got out 2 of my hydrangeas in the milky white. I'm considering, I think I can, pulling them off and dotting them around. I'm not sure yet. So that's the reason I've not placed them on picks just yet. Oops, I've just dropped one of the leaves off. And then I've got, oh, let me grab them. I've got some oddments, and also just grabbed out a couple of fresh bunches. There's the oddments of my burnt orange Chinese lanterns. So we're going to place some of those in. Now I couldn't make my mind up with which one, the browns or the ones with the orange and browns. I can't make my mind up. I'm not so sure about the pink foliage on it. I think that's what deterred me a little bit, but I just couldn't make my mind up. So we'll see about these. And these are a mixed bunch of peonies, hydrangeas, and a few little roses as well. So I've got them in these colours, in the browns and oranges. Now I've got my acorns out, another pack of 6, and I've also got some smaller ones what I've got orange in them. So I've placed those on picks, pulled them off the bunch and placed them on picks, and I'm going to dot those around. I don't know whether I'm going to place these in. We'll see. I can't make my mind up today, guys. So I've got an idea. You know when you do something for yourself, I've got an idea, but I don't know what the word is, but there's something where I can't make my mind up on some things. So we'll see. Now I have done a bow, and I've got a burgundy velvet one, which again I got from the lady C&S, and it's beautiful. It's imported from America, absolutely stunning, and it feels exquisite. And I also got this 5/8 burlap in the brown as well from C&S. Now I've got this one with the polka dots because it's got a bit of the cream colour or white on it, and I thought because we're using that would blend in well. And I didn't get that from the lady. I've had this about 2 years, probably nearly 2 years. So I was just looking under here, under my ribbons, and I spotted it, and I thought, yes, let's get that one in. So I've made the burgundy 4 loops at 6.5 inch, then the polka dot one in 6 inch, and then the burlap in 5.5 inch. Then I did the polka dot one for a centerpiece, and I did that in 4 inch. I didn't measure the length of the tail ends, but they are around 12 inches long at the bottom, and they are around just over 7 inches on the top. So that is our bow. So that's what we've got today. So I am concerned about I think it's called, it looks like moss, to be quite honest, the twiggy vine, what's not got any wire in. That's the only thing out of it that I'm a little concerned how it's going to, you know, sit. Other than that, we'll just get cracking. As I always say, trust the process. We'll find a way. So let's just move some of the things down here. I'm going to bring the camera down, and I'm going to work upside down so you can see what I'm doing. Let me just cut that. I've tried to tidy the wreath up a bit because these wreaths that are really tight that I've got are exceptionally, got a lot of those little twirly bits. I don't know if I can grab one. These little twirly bits in them, that they've got a lot of them in. So I've gone around and snipped quite a lot of them off just to tidy it up a little bit. Right, so one moment, guys. Let's just bring the camera down. And we'll get in closer as well. So let's bring it in. I think around, I ought to put a line or something where to place it. But that's where we're going to place it. Just so I've got a marker. So I know where to put it every time. The stand that I have got, you can place it on your table, your workbench as well. You can shorten the actual stand of it. But as much as I'd love to do that, it would be in the way, you know, of all the elements that I have on my workbench. Right, I've looked at this wreath, and I found around here is thinner. I could have had that up there, but I would have still had to place in elements there. So the reason I've placed it here on the side is because that is where I'm going to attach the bow, on there. And the rest of it is relatively around the same, you know, width or thickness. So on the thinner side, I'm going to place the bow. So first of all, I want to get in some of our mountain pine, or long needle pine, as some people call it. So my door looks a bit bare now. I've taken the other wreath off. So let's start here, and I'm going to bring because it's very tight. One there. It's a good thing when it's tight though, because you know it's, by placing elements in, it's gonna, you know, secure your, you know, you feel that you've got a little extra support. With it being quite tight. I may need to get some more, or move them around a little bit. And then I'm going to place one here at the bottom. I don't want lots of these in because they are long. I'm going to bring, oops, what's that? Let me just tidy that up. I'm going to bring the pine hanging downwards there, because that's where the vine is going to go. So it's got some length to hang, so it will probably be a big wreath, so we'll have to see. Now I want to place in the Magnolia. I've only got one bunch out, because I don't think I'm going to even need all of these, or I could use all of them. I love it where they're green on one side and then brown on the other. You get 10 leaves on one stem. So I'm going to just use 7 or to start with. Again, with it being quite a tight wreath, I probably would struggle a bit to get in the thicker stems. Well, my son, my oldest son, had a text message yesterday from his boss at work not to come back to work for the foreseeable future. Now my son thought he'd done something wrong, so he texted his boss, and his boss said, no, you've done nothing wrong. There's a car park above my son's workplace and it has collapsed onto the roof of my son's workplace and it is unsafe. So no, the police have sectioned it off, and he is not, you know, allowed to go back until it's been inspected and the repairs or whatever may need doing has been sorted. So all the employees in his workplace have got off of work until the issue has been resolved. Oh, my son thinks it's wonderful. And because it's not an issue caused by the staff or anything, they do still get paid wages until it's resolved. I'm just trying to get glue off of my thumb. So I've told him he can help me. I don't think he's too happy about that. But hey ho, I can't have him sitting there getting lazy. So yes, and also there's a B&M next door. We've got 2 B&Ms in where I live. And the B&M, it's also happened to them as well on their shop, which is connected to my son's workplace. The same building, and they've had to close the store again until the issues have been resolved. So at the moment, with it being unsafe, that nobody's allowed in. Right, so now I've placed these on picks. Again, I'm incorporating a solid leaf with also spiky leaves. I'm cutting down about 3 inches off the stem. I don't want them sticking out too far. And I'm going and placing these more towards the center of the wreath. Oh, I do have my coffee here as well. Oh, I do have to push these in quite hard. Well, I don't know what the weather's like where you are, guys. I know we've had where it's been raining, then it, you know, downpours of rain, and then it stopped and we had the sun, and then we had downpours of rain, then the sun, so on and so on. And it was just constant like that all over the weekend. Good for the garden. Bring that one there, and I'll bring one up above as well on the end of the other top part of the reed. We'll bring it in here. And then the smaller one I shall bring coming in towards the center, because they do have different size leaves on the stem. So let's just make sure I've got the center. I may need to push that in a bit more. Let's get that big glue string what's followed me. What's that? So we've now got in our, I'm getting tickled by the pine needles, our lotus. Let's just cut that. I don't want that sticking out. Right, now I'm going to get in beech. This is quite a big wreath, and it would be okay on my door because I do have a big door. If I need any more, I will grab some. Now I'm placing these around where the, if I can get that one in. Again, it's very tight. There we go. Around where the pine needles are. See, I can put these on single picks, but I want them where they've got more than one leaf on. Let's bend that one a little. Wipe that glue off. See a bit of glue here. And if your leaves are facing the wrong way, and if you can twist them to face the outwards, great. If not, just pull them off and then reposition them back on the stem. And we've got one more. Get the glue off my fingers. Just turn some of these leaves. There's a big gap there, so we'll go here, place that in here. I'm wiping the glue off that's seeping out, basically because once it's set and I need to place something there, with the glue being set, I won't be able to place anything else in there. Then I've got the 4 little pieces I've placed on picks. I'm going to bring 2 either side of the magnolia leaf, going in the center. Let's just turn that back how I'd like it. And then we'll place one this side as well. Again, I'm placing them more in, in the grapevine near to the center. And I've got 2. I'm going to bring one here and then one here. So it's around the bow. So we'll bring that one there. And then this one around here. So I just turn it that way. Oh, let me just grab my coffee. Let's just see if any stems are coming through. They shouldn't, oh mind you, I say they shouldn't do. where the thinner part is here, that's the Magnolia. So I'm going to pull it out, cut the stem a little shorter, and then replace it back in. Let's just turn it over. I placed it the wrong way, guys. Let me get all that glue off now. And do it again. When I mean I placed it in the wrong way, it's, let me just cut this piece off. It's, I placed the stem going that way, yet I always suggest from the top, from 12 o'clock going down to 9 o'clock, then you place your stems going down. From 6 o'clock going up to 9 o'clock, then you place your stems going up. Now, something's bothering me. It's a piece of wood, so let's just, if I can get it off, it's quite a hard, there we go, that's better. So that's our red beech in. Now, I'm intrigued about this vine. Again, they're very long. I don't know, that's not got nothing on. I think it's supposed to be just a twig because it's got a bud on the end. So we'll leave it as that. But I'm wanting, if I can bring the, I'm wanting it to sit, oh my gosh, something like that and hang. That's my thought. It just doesn't go in the positions you really want them to. I mean, some of those are turning upwards. If that makes sense. I'm going to cut a couple of off for the moment. One. And we'll play around with them. We'll take that one as well. Let's just put that on the floor because it's extremely long. I'm going to stand up. I feel a bit uncomfortable with these pines, you know, being so big. So yes, let's see. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut that one here. And I'm going to have that hanging where the Magnolia is, but just down like that, so it's got a bit of length. Let me put a bit more glue on because I want it to sit. So I'm going to just let that hang. Now my concern is as we get further up, now do I use smaller up above? I'm going to use a smaller piece up above because with these being quite floppy at the bottom, they've got no support with any wire. So I'm shortening it at the top and not having it, you know, as long. Let's just wipe that glue. It may flop forward, but I think once we've got other things in place in front of it, it will sit okay. I just want some hanging elements in. Let's have a look there. No, we're going to have to cut that there. There's no other way. And again, I've got a longer piece here. So I'm going to have the longer pieces at the bottom. Oh my good gracious me. And the shorter pieces at the top. So because this has got quite a few on, I want to place that one somewhere around here as well. So let's get some glue. Find a big enough hole. Luckily it's going in. And we can't bend or manipulate it. It just flops how it wants to. And then the other piece will bring to the top as well. Around here. I'm looking for the where they've got the biggest hole because it's got quite a thick stem, and again with this wreath being really tight, so if you ever get wreaths that are tight, just if you can look for the bigger hole, and also or put them on picks. I'm going to cut that one there. I'm going to just place that there a moment because I want one to come in here as well. So I'm going to shorten the stem on this one. See if we can find a hole. We'll bring that there. Again, I can't bend the plastic stem. And then this one I'm wanting to bring out here. So we'll shorten this one as well. Let's see. I may be able to get it in there. Yeah. And let that sit, coming outwards. Now I'm considering placing just small pieces on each end, just to give it a little bit of something on the ends. Where's the bottom? Let's have a look. Maybe something just with two, just here. Let's chop that one too. So I'm going to bring a little piece here. See, I can't do nothing about it. It's just, it doesn't stop where, you know, where I'd like it to. What did I do with the other piece? Oh my goodness. Oh, was that it? One moment. Yeah. And then place, let's get that glue string off, another piece in here, just like that. So I think, let me just see, yeah, it's hanging all okay, it's not flopping inward. So, and I want my other vine as well. Oh, let me just grab my coffee again, and then we're going to place our bow there. So let's move this vine because it's really long. I don't need no more magnolia. So now these have only got wire in to from there to there, so that is what, 2.5 inch of the wire on that one. I'm wondering if they're the same. Obviously the center one's got more. Yeah, they've got a little bit more wire on each stem, you know, the longer they are. So what I'm wanting to do is a similar thing with the smaller pieces. Now these will flop. These will flop in unless or over. So I may just have to place a few in. That's the shame really. Where's that big one? Now this big one, I could do the same here. Excuse me, and bring that one in so that can flop down. So let's get a bit of glue on that. Do the same around the bottom here. And I want that to just flop down there. I don't mind when it does it down at the bottom. I want that little bit of length. I'm just a little concerned when it comes to being at the top. So I'm just going to have a look to see which one will sit better. I'm going to place that one in because then again I can put something in front of it to support it. Again, these would look fabulous in hanging baskets. Now I could cut them smaller and have one around here. Let's just move our bow. And then grab another one and place another one here. Got this centerpiece, what's only got one leaf on. Now instead of, pull the leaf off if I can. Yeah. And I'll put it on a pick. Again, it's only one leaf. We'll just have that sitting inwards. I could do that with a few of them really. So it just doesn't look odd just having the one. If I place this one here, it might give this support from drooping. So let's have a look. Let's do it again. It looks quite dark at the moment, the wreath, with, you know, with what we've got in. As soon as we start adding in lighter colours, it will bring it alive. So let's get these ones in. Place that there. And that one there. Let's get that blue string. So I can't really, I'm not going to really place too much of these in. Right, I want to attach our bow so we can work around the bow. Excuse me. So let's get the bow in. I was thinking earlier, do I bring the tail ends so they just come across the centre like that, going down there? That's what I was thinking earlier. I may do that. Right, so I'm going to place this through the grapevine. Oh guys, oh, I saw something on TikTok. I'm not going to lie, it's not my creation. I saw something on TikTok the other day and I thought I could have a go at that. A woman was making flowers out of, with just wire, you know, very fine wire. And I thought, I've got some fine wire that I don't really use. So me being me, I had to have a go. And I made, I think, 8. I know it's an even number, but that was while I was busy in my workshop. And then I looked at the time and it was cat feeding time. So I just placed everything away. And I thought they would look lovely. Something to put in a, you know, Christmas wreath, whether it be something with silver in or in a colour like ice blue or white, you know, anything like that. And the lady who created it or came up with the idea, I did it slightly different to her because I'd already got the wire that was cut. And the lady, she cut the wire herself. She had it on a reel. I just used very fine wire that I got, and I'm going to show you. My husband says, "Are you proud?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess I am." Look at those little fine. Now they remind me, I don't know what you call them in the, you know, anywhere else, but in the UK, can you remember the dandelions when they grow the little feathery bits on, and we say make a wish and you blow them? That's what they remind me of. I don't know if that's what the lady was creating, but I thought placing those in a Christmas wreath, they're very fine. I could probably get some thicker wire to make it a bit more noticeable, but I was quite proud of those, and I've stuck them in this where my post box is just for now. But that's what I did, and yeah, I think you probably need thicker wire so it's seen more, because this is extremely fine wire. So yeah, that's what I did. When I saw the lady doing it, I thought, oh yes, I've got to have a go at that. So I'm going to leave those tail ends going across like so. So that is the wreath so far. It's very big, but again, my door's quite big. Right, now the wheat. Do I place in the wheat? I may place that in a little bit further along the way. Now let's get these oddments of Chinese lantern. Again, it's still quite dark. So what I'm going to do with these, and plus the twiggy as well, and I like twiggy. If I can get that one in there, yeah. I'm placing this just before the bow, these smaller pieces. Get that in. There we go. And I've got one here. I'll place around here. Have you started your Christmas wreaths yet? I don't really get into it until around October onwards. Now I want to, as soon as you start adding the lighter tones, it starts bringing it alive. Now, I don't know whether to add in a full stem or just chop it down. It does look nice with a full stem though, because you can manipulate them in the arrangement. We'll see. I don't know which one to place in next. Oops, I've just dropped one of those. Now, where did that come from? There. Let's glue that one back on. Oh, thank you for all your wonderful comments concerning my little workshop that I've got. Really, really, you know, very nice and kind of you all. I wasn't really, you know, looking for any praise. It was just, I'd had quite a few requests on people wanting to see where I work and what it's like. Now, I don't think I want to place these on picks. Let me just see. Oh, I don't know. I've got that head on today where I'm not sure. I don't know which piece to place in next. I think I'm going to put the greener in, the way I was taught. And then add in the pretty bits after. I may want to bring the odd one on the outside, so I may have to get another bunch. And I'm just placing these to start with on the inside. Again, I'll fill a just cut that stem down a little bit. And then bring this smaller one on the inside. So we've got that there. Do I bring, let's just grab another bunch. Because I may need to bring some on the outer side. So I want them a little bit longer. because there is some gaps, so I don't want to be having any, you know, gaps. So we're going to fill those gaps in by using a, you know, a wider leaf. What's capable of, you know, filling in. I prefer to use the wider leaves because otherwise, if I was using smaller leaves, I would be putting lots in just to keep, you know, cover that gap. I'm just going to move it around as I go. There's going to be one needed around here. I can place my hand somewhere. Let's just see where it's going. There, that's it. And then another one. There's a bigger gap here, so I wanted to place it in here. Like so, so I've got one more. I may as well use this last one up. So let's see where I could place it. If I've got another gap somewhere. Maybe under there. Right, so that's all of those used on there. I really don't think I'm going to be placing. Oh, no, have I got a pick? Oh, I don't know. Let me get in these Astilbe, what we pulled from the bunch. And again, I'm going to place one in where around our bow on the inside. Let's see if I can see somewhere to place it. There we go. Bring some of that orange colour. Let's take this band off. All the stems are all different lengths, so I'm going to work with the lengths of the stems to where I think the shorter pieces let's place up here. And one on the other end as well. Like so. around here. So I'm going really, you know, opposite to where I've just placed one, or thereabouts. I'm going to have one on the outer side. Again, around where the bow is. A slightly longer. I've got another one. I could bring that in the center with the bow. So I'm just going to move the loops out of the way, go underneath, and then bring the loops back into position where they were, and then just bend the Astilbe so it's sitting in like the center of the bow. So we've got it like that. Right. Now let me think about some of our floral. Again, this will bring it alive. Let's pick some off to start with and place one on a pick. I've just dotted these around also. Again, just, you know, add that little touch. So I'm going to do that with, how many is there? Crikey. Seems to be lots on this one. So I'm going to pull them off. I may not use them all. These, the touch of these are like, I don't know, they feel a little rubbery, but they feel plastic at the same time. If that makes sense. Have you ever had anything like that, where they feel rubbery, but you can't make out whether they are or if they're plastic? I don't know if there's a name for that. So we'll add those in. I will steam this after, just to bring these, you know, open a little bit more, because they are quite closed. So I will steam them. And once I've done that, then I will treat it with antibacterial spray, and then I'll also, once that's dry, treat it with UV protection spray. Once that's dry, I'll treat it again with UV protection, give it a double coat because it's going outside, and then once that's dry, I will place it on my door. I won't put essence oil on this because obviously it's for me, but I do that for customers. So then when they open their box, they will get a lovely, you know, aroma of some essence oil, like rose and jasmine or lavender, anything like that. I may not even use all of these because I've got the other white, milky white things. We will see. So let's definitely place one at the end, on the top and the bottom. Oh, here comes the rain again, guys. So if you hear some noise, there you go. I don't know if you heard that. It's the rain. It's decided to come back. Oh my goodness. That's what it was like at the weekend. Downpours. I don't know if you got that. I'm just cutting a few down. Yes, we got that at the weekend, and then it's all of a sudden it was pouring with rain. Then it just stopped, just like that. And then about 10-15 minutes later, it started again, did the same thing. So we do have winds as well with it. It is quite windy here today anyway. Now, can you see how the lighter tone is starting to bring it alive and make it, you know, stand out a little bit more? Which I always think looks wonderful when it does that. Because sometimes some people think, oh my gosh, it's a bit dark. But as soon as you start adding in these light tones, it just pops. So I'm going to bring some on the outer side as well. So where I've placed one here, I will place one in the centre of these two, but on the outside. I can just see. So then I'll use the next two. So number 1, number 2, number 3. So I'll use number 2 and 3. I've just used 1 and 2, so I'll go 2 and 3. And I'll use that. Place one there. Then I'll use 3 and 4. If that makes sense, if it's easy to understand. So now I'll use 3 and 4 and place one on the outside of the wreath. In between. And then I'll use 4 and 5. I'm going under the foliage, you know, because I want it to be, you know, around the outside that we see it. Not so much on the inside, because we've got these. So then I'll use 5 and 6 on here to place one on the outside as well. If that is easier to understand. I try to make it easier people to understand, because I know how it can be confusing with all different ways of explaining. I've been there. So that's what we've got with the hydrangeas around the outside as well. What have I just thrown in here? Oh, my picks. So I don't need no more of the hydrangeas. Oh, I do have on the floor some parfavolia in case I need to add in some of that as well. That's a backup. Right. They're going to go in a bit later. Now, I'm not sure if I need to add this in. Knowing me, I will. On the inside, maybe some on the outside. I'm not going to add in the Tradescantia, guys. as much as it looks lovely, I don't want to overwhelm it. And let's see with these as well. Oh, I don't know. Let's kick on with the flowers. Now, this is where I wasn't sure. Now, the reason I'm not sure is because of the reds and oranges that we've already got in. By placing like these here in there would look lovely, but at the same time I don't want it to clash. We've not got many browns in, so by adding just the odd brown, let's have a look. Could look nice. Let's have a look at the orange. I'm doing these individually so I can see. No, I think it's those, if I'm being honest. It's these. Some have got brown in anyway on these. Now, I don't care for the pink foliage on this occasion. So that's got the pink foliage. That's got the pink foliage. I'm looking for the ones without the pink foliage. So let's see. Now these two have got a brown on, or like a coffee colour brown. So I may place these on each end because there's only two. Then I've got the others, the other four, and then I've got two with the four bud flowers on, and then I've got two where they've got three buds on. So let's get these ones in. Now let's see where we want, because we've got the hydrangeas here, I'm going to go above the hydrangea at an angle with these. Not too much. I don't want these on the side. So it'll just be behind the hydrangea. There's the other one. So I'll bring the other one down at the bottom as well, where the hydrangea is. I can turn it around. Excuse me. So we're just going where the hydrangea is, and we're just going slightly above it. So it just comes out on its own. Now I want to bring these with the three buds on around here. If you look at it, it would be around, I'd say about 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock time. And then one will be around 10 o'clock. And one around here. So that sits there. And I've got the other two, which I will go after the ones with the buds, around here and here. So each side of the bow. My hands are very slippy. Let's see where I placed. Let's place a bit more glue on that one. My hands are slippy. So get my needle nose pliers to give me a little bit of a helping hand. Push it in. There we have it. So then that sits on that side, and the other one here. Get that one in. There we go. So then that's there. So that's what we've got at the moment. If I turn it on its side, let me just see if there's anything coming round through the back. I've got one stem, so I'm going to cut. Now that's the Magnolia again. I didn't see that one before. So let's cut it so it's shorter. Like that. And any others? No, wonderful. So that's how what we have at the moment. It's quite large. I'm not sure if you've got the whole picture in the scene, or the whole wreath in the scene, but that's what we've got at the moment. We've still, so I don't want any more of the flowers on those. I don't want no more Chinese lanterns. We still have our wheat, which I really do want to add that in for a bit of the autumnal effect as well. I just get some out. Now this is also quite floppy. It's just the main stem that has the wire in. I don't know if I've got any shorter stems that I could use in the white colour. No, I've got 5. So I'm going to bring these on top so they're seen. And again, let's go. Just so you've got that little bit of different texture mixed in. Again, as you can see, the wheat, this has got no wire in. It's just this main stem. So they flop over. Again, they'd be wonderful for hanging baskets. Anything that's hung on the wall. Fabulous for anything like that. If I can get that in. Oh my goodness, this wreath is exceptionally tight. There we go. So that's that one. So if they just flop, that's okay. We'll go at the other side of the bow as well. There we go. one in. So, well, I need something here so that grass may come in handy. Now I've got one more of this. I may just put it, do I bring it in? I may bring it in. If I can find somewhere to place it. My goodness. Excuse my head, everybody. It's very rude of me. I forget which way they go. Bring it there, like that. Now I know I want to add in some of those. I don't need any more of the wheat. So I know I'm going to need some of the grass around here, because I don't know if you can see, there's where the hook is, it's quite bare there. So I could fold that over and lift that a little bit, but I'd still need something there. So if, like for this, for example, just to cover that little bit there. I'm not so sure about these now. I think we'll leave those out, because we've got such a lot in. And I don't know about the big acorns, maybe. I think I'm going to put those in. But let's get the grass in and fill up some of that space. What's showing, you know, the wreath, because that is the top part. So when you go to the door, anybody comes to the door, they'll see that up above. So we need to just get something in there just to start and just cover that area. Oops. We may have to put some of those in there as well. Or I could double up. Let's double up. See, the rain's stopped now, guys. Place that there as well. Place that leaf. So that's that bit. I'm going to go a bit around on the inner side, just placing some, again like here. If you haven't got this sort of a grass, you know, when you've just got normal grass, or maybe olive leaves, willow, you know, that sort of leaf, you could add those in. Something what's got a bit of spikiness on, or if you've got some other foliage what's two-tone, got different tones on, you could use that as well, just to add in. Oops. Or maple, if you've not got the grape leaf, use maple. I love maple. I think it's really pretty. Or you could use the money leaf, or you could also add in some eucalyptus, if you like to see eucalyptus in your autumnal arrangements. Oops. Right, do I place, I've got some green, just plain green here. I might just place it in, a couple of pieces of the plain green right on the ends. Just place them in as depth. So I'm just going to lift that here and push it as far as it will go. It's just to add that little bit of the end so it doesn't look, you know, unfinished, you know, because there's a gap here. So just add in your foliage on the end there as well. So I don't need any more of the grasses. So I'm going to place in some of our acorns, our little acorns. Well, these are real life size, if that's the right word to use. I was taking Benji a walk this morning, and with this one of the residents around where I live has got an acorn tree, and there was acorns all on the floor that I dropped. The birds and squirrels will love those, because we have squirrels around where we live. Mind you, they'll live anywhere, squirrels. One of the neighbours has got a big birch tree, and there's a squirrel family that live in there, and they keep coming on our garden because my husband feeds them with monkey nuts. So, right, I'm bringing some coming in, so I'm not having them all facing the same way. So I'm going to just, oops, I've got glue on my workbench. We'll wait till that dries and then I'll pick it off. Because if I try to get it off now, it will just smudge. So I'm just dotting these around. Let's get one in around in between the tail ends and place one just in there. So that and then that. I'm going to thread these underneath as well. So I'm going to have to take that one through there and place it under there. And this one the same. Place that one under there as well. So they're all sitting nicely in. Position. I'm trying to look. The brown goes with the red, so I'm looking for the red loops. or the Burgundy. So they sit above the Burgundy. Like so. So then we'll carry on with our acorns. Oh my goodness. There we go. So I've just placed these all around. So I don't think I'm going to add in the big ones. I'm not so fussed, if I'm being quite honest. So now I just can't make my mind up. I feel if I place these on single pigs, I will get more, you know, well, I know I will get more from it. And we can spread them further than placing them in a cluster. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to bring some on the outside, some up above, some around our bow. I'll have to get to that. So let's start under here. And I'm not going to put any more in after this. We do have somewhere they're just on their own and they haven't got berries. But I want the one with the berries. I'll save the ones with the little bits of foliage on. Then we'll get the last one on for now. Right, so because I've placed one on the end here, I'm going to again mirror image that up above and just place one on the ends here as well. So we've got those there. I'll bring that there. I always find with autumn. It's great because autumn's like a messy look, you know, no disrespect, but if that makes sense, you know, because obviously the leaves fall off the trees, things like that. I think I need to cut that shorter, and I think that's why I like it so much, because of that look. Let's bring one under here and then bring it above where it's in our bow, if I can. Right, that's in. Bend it inwards through the loops. And it's just adding a little bit of floral to, you know, the bow, so the bow just doesn't look too plain. We could actually add some greenery in there. Now let me think. Yeah, I'm going to bring some, just a couple either side of the bow on the outer side. Just have to, that's one. And around here. And that on the outside. I'm not going to place any more in. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. And I'm just going to have a check. I've got the parfavolia that I was wondering just to add a bit of that in. So let's get, now I can see there's a couple of the stems here that are have been cut off but not used. Let's just take the band off. So I can get a better look. All right, this, yeah, I've not used them, I've not cut them down. I just want to see. I quite like well, I love parfavolia. I love the movement of it. I may bring a couple on the ends as well. Any smaller bits, or are they all the same size? I think they're all the same size. So yeah, so then bring one down here as well on the end. I'm just placing them. And I might bring just a couple as well, either side of the bow. around here. I'm keeping them as a cluster. And then maybe add just a bit of movement down here as well. So I feel I've got gut instinct, something's needed around here with the pine, and also down here with the pine down here. So it's just got that movement there. Now, do I cut one down and bring it in, or do I leave it as the cluster? I think I'm going to leave it as the cluster. Oh, I do love my parvolia. There's a gap there as well. So where did I just place that? Around here. I think that's enough. I'm going a bit too crazy with it now. So let's just cover that up. And I think after that, and that is the wreath done, with lots of greenery in, lots of not too much colour. There is colour, but I haven't gone crazy with the colour. There's more green in colour than anything else, so but I don't mind that. Green's, as you can see, green's my favourite colour. Let's start this end and work its way round with the parvolia, and then that should be it. So let's push it in, just get that wispy bit. That's what I'm looking for. My good favourite wispiness. So I've got to remember where I'm coming out. And one out. Just above the pine needles. And we'll just place that there. Hi, hon. Oh. So we'll bring that movement on the outside as well. And there's one here. I've had some people say, I bet you make your wreath, you know, better. I say some people, it was only one. Better than you do the customers. No, I don't. There's sometimes I've done a customer's wreath and I've thought, oh, why didn't I do something like that for me? And I've fallen in love with the customer's wreath. So no, I put as much work into the customer's wreath as I do my own. I'm very much like that. I'm not a person what's self-centered or anything, thinks of myself. I don't. I can get that one in. So that there. Then this one. If I'm being truthfully honest, I think more of the customers' orders than I do my own. Because because that means more to me. If it's my own, I can always rectify it whenever I want. If it's a customer's order, once I've done it and sent it off, I can't, you know, rectify it unless, you know, unless the customer brings it back. But so yeah, I do play, you know, put more into a customer wreath, which it should be like that. But I always say, you know, if it's not good enough for you, then don't expect it to be good enough for the customer. That's just how I think. I think the customers are more important than myself. Definitely. Now, where did I get this one from? From this pie? Did I can't remember. But it's going here. It's like if I see something later and it's hung on my door and I think, oh, that shouldn't have, oh, I should move that. Oh, that doesn't look right there. I'll just think, oh, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Now, for a customer, no. I just, you know, I stand back, look at it, question what I've done. If I feel it's good enough, if I think it's not, then I will rectify it immediately before I even send it off. It's just the way I am. But that's good, yeah? That's good when you think like that. Oh, the rain's coming again. I told you guys. It'll just come and go as it wants. It'll stop for a few minutes and then it'll come back. And then I've got one more. Let's get this one in. Oh, I don't know. I may put a bit too much parfavolia in. Have I put a bit too much in? I think that one shouldn't be there. Maybe those. We'll see. Where did this one go? Oh my goodness, round here. I think I've gone crazy with the parfavolia. I usually do. I'm taking this one out. And I'm taking this one out. I think I've gone too much. Too over the top. I've got some glue on my leaf. There we go. Yeah, I think I definitely went a bit too crazy. Let me just check if I've gone too crazy around the sides. Let me just hang it up, see what it's hanging like. I've just heavy-handed, I've just gone and pulled it off. One of the, what looks like hanging moss off. So I'll glue it back on. It can be difficult to work with things like this. What I've got no. I think that's a bit too long as well. But it's got no wire. It can be quite difficult to, you know, to get it into the position you'd like it to stay. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to place it on the easel. So let's just bring up our camera. That glue's bothering me. This is when I got the, thank you for your wonderful comments about my workshop. But I got some people that, you're very organised. Yeah, I am. It's my mum. She, you know, it's the way I was brought up. I guess it's a good thing. Crikey, I hope you could see. I'm going to bring the camera around here. And then I'll come and have a quick look to see if you can see it all. Yeah, I am. I'm very picky. I was always taught that by my mum. So let's see what it's like on our easel. I'm going to hire the easel. Oh my goodness. Let's just see. Bring that up there a little. I suppose I'm happy with that. I quite like it actually. I guess it will look lovely sat on my front door. Let's turn it around. Get rid of all this mess around it. All this mess off my mat. So, today on our project I have created myself a wreath to sit on my front door for autumn. I did have a summer stroke autumn wreath on there with deco mesh, but I decided I wanted more of a autumn one stroke winter time, if that makes sense. You can, you know how you can make a wreath or anything or you want it to go into the next season. So that's basically what I've done. I do like after Christmas I tend to do wreaths that are winter with a minimal of spring in it, because we're still in the winter weather and the coldness. When it comes to spring, I will do spring and also spring with some summer in it, and so on and so on. Unless, you know, I decide I just want a full autumn one, no winter flowers or no winter foliage, then I will just do that. But I've got I think this could go through to winter with the berries and things like that, and the pine, excuse me, and maybe the acorns, things like that. And yeah, I think so. So I hope you like that, guys. You know, again, it's just going on my front door. I've got to treat it, as I said. If you want to give it a go on a bigger scale, give it a go. You know, you could even attach a sign. I've got signs, guys, but I just don't use them very often. I said this to a lovely friend of mine who loves signs and attachments. That's her signature style, and she knows that it's not really mine. I'm more just like this. But when I see them, I love them when other people make them. Oh, I have got my gingerbread man. I'm going to show you that. He arrived and he goes on a wreath. Oh, look. Isn't he beautiful? It's like a cushion. Oh, I said to my husband, I might just take this to bed and have it for a cushion to snuggle up to. But it comes with the wire already attached to, you know, attach it to your wreath. Oh, he's divine. And because he's got pink and red, and then obviously the brown of him. I chose some ribbon I bought. I haven't used it yet. I've used the brown today, but I've got this. I've not used it yet. It came the other day from the lady who I got this from. It is beautiful ribbon. It's from America. It's from the lady who I get it from America. But she has that, and I thought that would go lovely with him. And then obviously the brown as well, or the in the burlap. And again, this ribbon from America is fabulous. You know, it just sits wherever you put it. Look at that. How good is that? Now, I've had ribbon before where I bought it from wholesalers and it doesn't do that. It just flops back down. So I've started getting the ribbon from America. So I do get some, but this American ribbon is fabulous. So I've got him, and I've got, now these are glue guns and they're for beginners. I've got 10. They come with glue sticks, 50 glue sticks, and I call them beginner glue sticks because glue guns because they're only tiny. They're not like the big ones I have. I started off with a small one. I was too frightened to use the bigger ones. I am going to show them on another video where I will, I am going to sell them. I don't need them. I've got four glue guns of my own, and one is a small one, what I very first started with, and that's more of a sentimental thing than anything. So yeah, I will sell them with the 50 glue sticks to go with it. Right, so back to this, guys, because I'm busy chatting again. Give it a go. Whether it be these colours, whichever, if you want browns and lemons, pale lemons, that would look really, really elegant. Use those, or have the deep rich reds with the browns and the oranges, and also always add a little bit of lighter tone to it. Again, by me just adding these just odd little bits, and the berries, and the wheat, that's in a lighter tone. It does lift it a little bit, and it just adds to it and gives more of that, I feel that like woody effect, if that makes sense. And you don't have to have a ribbon, but you know me, guys, I love my ribbons, or my bows, should I say. And then just use like two-tone grass. If you haven't got these long pine needles, just use grasses, onion grass, things like that. They would do well. If you don't have the hanging moss, because of the way it looks, you could use, is it thyme? Something like that. You could use what's got like the leaves like this. You could add that in instead. And obviously, if you don't have the berries what I've got, just use ordinary berries, guys. You don't have to, rush out and get what I've got. And little acorns, if you don't have acorns, again, just add in berries or pine cones, things like that as well. And if you don't have the wheat, just add in lavender, white lavender or something like that. And if you don't have the grape leaf, there's maple. Use broader ones. You could add in fern as well. I mean, fern, it's an all year round a favourite of mine. And yeah, and just if you've got hydrangeas, pull them off so you get more from it, by placing them on picks, unless you want the big head itself. And just add in some long vine if you've got some, just to hang a bit low at the bottom. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you like the colour. And once I've treated it and it's all dry, I can treat it out here because I'm undercover. it can go on my front door. So I hope you give it a go, and I hope you have fun. So please subscribe, share and like to everybody who you know, guys, to whomever. Just bring them along, come and have some fun, you know, come and have you know, look at some different ideas that you could create, some wonderful arrangements, and hopefully inspire you to give it a go yourselves. So take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. And God bless and good health. Bye for now, guys. Bye-bye. Gosh, I've gone over 2 hours again. Oh, I'm a naughty girl. Oh, it's going to click. Oh, let's bring us in. Now, is it going to focus? I'll tell you if it focuses right. Oh, I guess, is it? Isn't it? I can't make my mind up. Oh, anyway, there's our grape leaf with the green and red seeds at the top. One of my lovely parfavolia, which I adore. We've got our roses added in. Our little spray roses. Our lovely red, deep rich burgundy, should I say, beech. Our brown with green tones of our lotus leaves. Our little acorns. Our lovely seeds in white. And our Astilbe. And our two-tone grass as well. And our lovely wheat. I think that looks lovely. And our Chinese lanterns, and our long mountain pine, and our looks like moss, hanging moss, I'm going to call it that, and our wonderful magnolia leaf there as well. Did I say the hydrangea? I really can't remember. I'm going wappy. I don't know, did I say anything else or miss anything else? Obviously our bow with the ribbon in the burnt orange with the polka dots, the lovely 5/8 burlap. I love that. I love thin. I'm a fan of thin ribbon. And our beautiful velvet ribbon as well, which is also on the, you know, it's not velvet on the back, but it's just a wonderful feeling. Soft, really soft. So that is our wonderful wreath for today. You can't really see with everything going off in the background. But that's what I've done. And I hope you give it a go, guys. And I hope you have fun. So take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye-bye.